Well, welcome everybody. As you can see, Rich isn't here. He actually is just right in his office. He's got a professional standards hearing, so it's a good thing you're not with him now, or else you'd probably be getting in trouble and fighting a fine or something like that. Uh, so today we have Anthony with us, but before we get going with Anthony, Sarah, you're out there. Do you want to give an update on the rates and let us know what's going on out there?
Hey, John. Good morning, everyone. Yes, I can give a quick rate update. The rates are actually pretty close to the same as they were last week. So if we're looking at a conventional loan, this would be up to $766,550 for Orange County. We're looking at scenarios for all pricing I'm giving out would be a 75% loan to value, a 760 credit score, and a single family home. So a conforming loan, you're looking at a range of 6.125 to 6.5 with 0 to 1 points being charged. A high balance loan, so this would be up to $1,149,825, again for Orange County. The rates would be ranging between 6.447 to 6.999%. And then a jumbo loan, so anything over the high balance loan limit, the range is about 6.625 to 7%. And again, with 0 to 1 points being charged, and all for a 30-year fixed loan.
Okay, thanks. And Sarah, how long are they taking now from start to finish on loans compared to in the past? Is it easy to do 30 days?
No, they're closing fairly quickly. The last loan I just closed, it was within 21 days.
Okay, so financing is pretty quick right now. That's the one good thing about not being quite as busy in the loan front. So,
yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Sarah.
Thanks, Rich. Thanks, John.
Okay, so we have Tony here from OC Realtors. He's a senior technology trainer. You all probably know him. He's going to talk about what matrix updates and what's coming.
What's coming down the pike? Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to turn the floor over to him. So
thank you very
much. Come on in.
Well, good morning, everybody. How is everybody? Happy 2024. I just wanted to introduce myself real quickly for those of you who don't know me. My name's Anthony. I work at Orange County Realtors. Been here now for a little over 21 years. Started off in the MLS department. I remember when Richard was just, getting started in the business. That's how long, I've been in here. But what I am involved with is our outreach program. Our outreach program is designed to give you training on all your tools and products. Richard and John and Carlos have me out here at least once a month going over all the fun things like MLS, how to run searches, how to modify listings, create CMAs, zipForm updates, which, by the way, everybody loves the new version of zipForms.
Yes.
Yes, good. I got one yes. What about there in Cyberland? Anybody playing with the new version? Probably not yet. Well, just so you know, on April 8th, CAR has finally given a deadline that the classic edition of zipForms is going to officially go away, and only the new version will be available. So if you haven't played with the new version yet, you want to start doing that right now. That way, when they kick over on April 8th, you're not stuck going, oh my gosh, what do I do to make my transaction? So you want to start playing with that today. So with that said, today what we're going to do is we're going to go over the new potential matrix platform on running searches in the MLS system. So you may or may not have noticed this, but about a year ago, CRMLS has put out this new version for people to try out, give feedback on, and of course, usually when they start doing stuff like that, that just means that eventually they're going to go over to it. Now, if you're not familiar with that right now, just know that it's going to be very Paragon-esque, meaning the Paragon MLS system. If you've ever played with that, Matrix is what you're used to is going to go away to be replaced by this new system. So let's go over that. Which, by the way, how many people have played with Paragon and love Paragon? Not a single person. Excellent.
Those are two separate distinct questions.
Two separate distinct questions. Excellent. All right, so let's see if I can share my screen here. And the first thing that we're going to do, and I'm going to minimize my camera so we can see a little bit more of the screen, is we're going to log into the Matrix system. So here at Matrix, crmls.org, we're just going to simply log into the MLS dashboard. Now, Carlos was just informing me that he went over a lot of the MLS basics with a lot of the new agents. So if we have any new agents, you know, that's great that Carlos showed you that the basics of MLS. But what we're going to do today is we're going to go over this new version so you can start to play with it and implement some of the tools that Carlos instructed you in this new platform. Now, from here at the RE Center Hub, we're just going to simply go to the Matrix system. And real quickly, in case you didn't know, one of the updates that happened last year was with the My Favorite Search widget. Now, what the My Favorite Search widget allows us to do is allows us to look at and access some of our saved searches. When we make search criteria in the MLS, we can make it a saved search. And in making a listing or making a saved search within the MLS system, we can actually tell the system to make it a favorite. Now, in the past, the My Favorite Searches widget only allowed you up to 12 of your saved searches to be displayed here that you can run at any given time. Well, as of May of last year, they've now increased the amount of saved searches that you can have in this widget up to 20. So they've actually increased this number by 8, which is awesome. So now you can access your 20 most commonly used searches right now. Now, what's nice about this is that I like putting my clients that I'm currently actively working with, their search criteria here. That way I can see at a quick glance, are they getting properties? Okay. Now, from here, we're just going to run a quick search. We're going to go over to the search tab. We're going to click on the word search. And from here, we're just going to run a detailed search. Now, if you've run a search in the MLS, here we can run a search, but you'll notice that over in the top left corner, there's a choice here that says, try our new search. Now, if you haven't clicked on this yet, you're going to do that as of today and start to play with this new system. This is what the new system will look like. Over here to the far left, we've got the search criteria that we can plug in. We see on a map that we can do a map search, as well as we put in criteria, property information will automatically appear on the map. Kind of nice. So just real quickly, under the residential detailed, we can select our statuses. Like normal search in the MLS system, we can just simply select the multiple statuses, and then we're going to click on apply. So unfortunately, with the new system, just because I check mark it doesn't mean that it's automatically saved in the criteria. What I'm going to need to do here is, after I select the criteria, click on apply, and now we've got our statuses. Now, if I happen to be in the middle of trying to create a CMA, comparative market analysis, when I select an inactive status like closed or expired, in this new system, you'll notice here that there is no date range like in the current system. Just off to the right of that inactive status, there is a date box range that we can put in. 0 to 180, 0 to 30, or 01/01/2023-12/31/2023, right? As an example. Doesn't mean that I can't put in a date range though. Here, when I select an inactive status like closed and I choose apply, back over here to the left-hand side, you'll notice that all of a sudden underneath the statuses that I've chosen, there are now a separate set of searches that I can put in a date range. And again, just like before with the closed statuses or the inactive statuses, it defaults to 0 to 180 days, basically 6 months. Here we can change that by simply clicking in the box, and we can rewrite over it like 0 to 30, 0 to 60, or 0 to 3,450 days, or we can actually put in a specific date range. 11/30/2023 01/15/2024. Or we can take it out altogether. If I take it out altogether, I'm now telling the system I want to find closed properties that closed today up to 20 years ago. Because our MLS system goes back 20, 22 years.
Or the date plus.
Or the date plus. Correct. And here we'll just take out a couple of statuses. That way I don't have too many results. Down below here, county, city, area. Now, when it comes to the city, we now have all the cities that we can go up and down and select. Now, what I can do is I can simply select select a city, hit apply, and it puts it here. Now, this is something that they've recently fixed, which I really like, because prior to this, early part of last year, when this new system came out, I had to go back into select, find my city, select it, apply. Find the next city, select it, then apply. So I kept having to go in and out of it. Okay. Now we no longer have to do that though. When I select the city, in this case, when I go to a filter and I type in, say, the city that I need or my client needs, like Irvine. When I select it, I'm now not going to hit apply right away because I don't want to exit out of this. I now need my next city. Unfortunately, I cannot type the next city here immediately. Like in the current system, I used to be able to just simply type in the city and separate them out with commas and type in the name of the next city. You'll notice here it doesn't come up because there is no city called Irvine, Tustin. So if I need my next city like Tustin, I'm going to take out the other city, but now all of a sudden I'm going to type in Tustin and select Tustin. Now you'll notice here that I've just selected 2 cities, but I haven't applied anything. So what I can now do is type in all my cities. And now once I'm done typing in all the cities, after I type them in, select them, type them in, select them, now when I hit apply, we're now seeing here under the city field, all the cities that I've typed in. Anybody like this? So they kind of streamlined it a little bit in the past year. There's no limit. I can type in 1,000 different cities here if I wanted to, but most likely, if you're doing this for a client, they're looking in what, probably 1 or 2 cities for information. Okay, but here we could do that. I don't have to go through county, then city, then MLS area. Okay. Now down below here, number fields. In our current system, we are able to type in just say the number that we're looking for, like price. We used to just either type in the price or we type in the price with a plus sign, minus sign, or low number dash or minus the high number for a price range. Here, this is where they've gone back old school, more Paragon-esque, where they now give you a minimum and a maximum field. So if you're looking for one price, put it in both fields. If you're looking for that price on up, then just type that number in the minimum field. If you're looking for that number on down, put it in the maximum field. That's all we got to do. Now, what's nice about this is that it helps you type in the number. So if I'm typing in the number here, 1,200,000. We've got, by the way, over here towards the right-hand side, the number of matches. Over just above the map at the top middle tells us our matches. The number of matches in our current system is usually displayed at the bottom left. So they've moved that now towards the top middle, and you actually get to see on the map where those properties are located.
That's cool.
Which is cool. Okay. We still have to be mindful of the bath total field. Bath total, or how many total bathroom types are in a property. Everybody knows how many bathroom types you can have in a home? 4 different bathroom types. There's a full, 3/4, half, and quarter bath. So they're in Cyberland. Does anybody know what makes up a full bathroom?
Shower and tub.
Shower and tub
Toilet.
and
Same.
sink. Gotta have 4 components. Yeah, you say it's gotta have a sink, but you never know nowadays, right? So to make up a full bathroom, you have to have 4 components: shower, tub, sink, and toilet. So you can have the shower, tub, stall, sink, and toilet to make up a full bath. Now, 3/4 bath has at least 3 of the 4 components, which means that it can have typically either a shower or a tub, sink and toilet,
Or no sink.
or no sink, and just have a shower, tub, and toilet. Half bath has 2 of the 4 components, typically just a sink and a toilet. And then a quarter bath has 1 of the 4 components, typically just a sink. Okay. So here, when it comes to that bath total field, we got to be really careful, because if our clients say, I need 2 full baths, do not put it in your bath total here as 2 and up, because this may all of a sudden in your search results give you a 3/4 and a half bath. Total is 2. Okay. So we got to be mindful of that. If you're looking for total number of full bathrooms, then come down below and find that full bath field and put in that number. If you don't see that here, then come over to the gear icon. And here you can add in fields that may not be displayed automatically on your display. And I'll zoom back out on this here in just a moment. Okay. But here, hopefully, maybe I'm zoomed in too much. Well, I don't want to clear all. All right. And this is the problem I seem to always have with our matrix system. Thought they had this fixed. All right. Well, when all else fails, go right back into matrix. All right, so here we're going to select our statuses real quickly. Boom, boom. Put in our city or cities. And then our price range. All right, so here in the map. So as you're putting your criteria, you're seeing things pop up on the map where they need to go. And it's funny because I do see here that they now are color coordinating some of the property types. So I do believe the pink color properties are coming soon. But what I like about this is that we get to see the properties on the map. We still get to see the list price, bedroom and bathroom. If we click on it, we are going to open up the property. But I know what most of you are saying is, where's my one-line report? I would love to have my one-line display. Because in our current system, what do? We put in the criteria, then we go to the results and we see the one-line display of the properties, correct? Well, where do I see that here? Well, this is where I need to come down below, and under the map, there are these 3 little dots at the bottom of the map. When I click on those 3 dots, I should be able to, if this moves for me. Okay. And I always seem to have a problem with this when I need to actually, come on. You would think. Come on. Man.
Go with your mouse.
Huh? I try. No, no, it's not doing it for
Try
me.
double clicking.
And it'll happen like at the most inappropriate or inopportune moment too. I'm trying to drag it. What you should be able to do is click on these 3 dots and drag it above. There it goes. How funny. If you drag the 3 dots all the way up, you'll see your one-line display. Okay. So here on your one-line display, you can click on the MLS listing number, open up the agent full report. You see your status, the subtype, the street number, the street name, the city, all the normal stuff that you're able to see currently. Now, if we open up the one-line report, and I love the fact that Now that it's clicked, it won't let me click on anything else. Isn't that great? When I get stuck like that,
Do you have to pull it back down?
I don't want to pull it back. There it goes. Don't know how I did that. When I click on the MLS listing number, here's the one line, or here's the agent full report. Looks no different, except that it now opens it up in a separate window. So when I click on a listing now in this new edition, it opens it up in a brand new window for me to print it out, look at it. And then I have to now click back on the previous window at the top here to get back to where I was. So there is no back now. I can just close it, that one choice out. Now, here I can look at all the properties and go from one page to the next, how many properties I wanted to have displayed at one time. That hasn't changed. We're just right back to where we were. Now, what's nice about this is that I can still select the properties. Yes.
What about the different displays?
Right now it is only the one display. It's either the one line or the full or the what is it? Map. So I encourage everybody to send CRMLS, because if you want this as a default display, because you'll notice that there's no choice to make this my starting default. What I would do is I would email CRMLS and say to info@crmls.org and say, please, under the new search, make the one-line reports the starting display. Or have the capability of setting my starting display. How do we print? Excellent question. We can do two things. We see here at the very top where it says print, we can click on print. But before we click on print, we do need to select some listings. So simply select the properties that you want to print. Then come over here to the top middle where it says print. And now we can choose our different displays. So we still have access to our customer reports, our agent full reports, the medium. I do believe, I was telling Carlos that you can even create a buyer, what is it? Is it flyer?
Is that tour?
Yeah, there should be a tour here. No, book a report, customer one line short, thumbnail.
You know,
Oh, customer feedback.
sometimes
It's called the
we
customer feedback.
select few properties,
Mhm.
but is it possible only print one of them, or we have?
Well, then only select one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it, so it's not the way to do that.
Well, you only select, if you only want to print one, then select one. If you want to print multiple, then select multiple. That's the only thing I would tell you.
Thank
Okay. Or in selecting all of them, tell your printer what pages you want printed,
I see.
which you can do too. So you could say out of 5 properties, property number 2 starts on page 6, then say print 6 through 10,
I see.
right? When it comes to your printing. But here, this is the customer feedback, which is basically the buyer tour. Okay. Let's see here. Let's get back to our results.
How different is this report from what the customer can see online listing?
If you're emailing them, the customer actually accesses their client portal through One Home, or I'm sorry, through their agent port, or through the One Home reports. So they actually see not only the customer report, everything that you see, but they see extra stuff like schools, drive time, other things electronically that they can access that the printed report doesn't give them access to. Like it doesn't say, it'll take you 15 minutes to get from here to your office.
But it doesn't show them everything that you see, actually. It doesn't show
The
the
agent
commission,
report,
procedure.
you see everything. Showing instructions, agent remarks, agent information. Customer reports don't show anything like that, if that's what you're asking.
Yes, that,
Yeah, so it hides all the private information, so showing instructions, private remarks, and listing agent information,
Commission.
which is important for you. Okay. Let's see here. Back here at the hybrid map, or at the map section. Oh, by the way, if you were to select the properties, and let's see here if I can do this again. If I need to email, there we go. If I need to email properties to a client, back over here where it says send. Now, if I select properties, then I'm going to be given a choice to actually email the selected properties, which will be, again, the automatic customer report. And you do have access to the auto email. But if I select no properties in my property list, then under send, the only choice that I have here is to send an auto email. The reason why that is that it understands that you're sending all the properties that you found in your search and then any new properties this day forward. Whereas the direct email choice, you're actually selecting a few of those properties out of that entire set of properties. Does that make sense? Good. Same thing with the print. You have to make sure that you select some properties to be able to print, just like in the current edition of MLS. Now, CMA. If you're making a CMA in this new edition, you may or may not know that Matrix has its own CMA program along with your free member benefit called Cloud CMA. When I go over to CMA here, this will tell the system to export this information into the Matrix's CMA portal. If you like Cloud CMA, then what you're going to do is you're going to come over here to the far right to these three dots. And now you're going to say Cloud CMA to access this. Now they do give you a new choice here called export. So I can export this agent one line into an Excel spreadsheet format if I choose to. Not many people do, but there is a choice for that. And then of course I can switch back to classic, or I can actually set driving directions to and from the properties for a showing, and of course set up my showing time appointments as well with these three dots. Back here on the map, we have our properties. Now what I can do here, I can use my drawing tool to outline my neighborhoods. So unlike the current edition where I have to click on the map tab, what's nice about this is that I can immediately do my map searches. Even though I do put in some criteria, maybe I need to outline my neighborhoods. Very simply, I can come over to my drawing tool, which is the pencil icon just underneath where it says save. And I can draw my radius, my rectangle, my polygon, or freehand my choices. So here, maybe I draw a circle, find where my circle starting point is. Come on. There we go. Draw my circle, click, hold, and pull out. Now I've drawn my circle. If I wanted to draw my polygon, I could do again the same thing, or my rectangle, and outline my various different neighborhoods. Now, in this case, maybe I've got several properties all over the map and I want to select some. From here, I can come over to the top left side of the map and click on this check mark box. And now what I can do is go through and check mark the selected properties. If I check mark the properties, again, I can come back up to the top, print, send, do whatever I need to with the homes. Now, if I like everything in a particular area, instead of selecting things one at a time, I want to select everything all at once. I can do that as well. Next to the single check mark, there's the multiple check mark. If I click on the multiple check mark and I click on click on an area, then everything in that area is now immediately selected. So it's a quick and easy way of selecting stuff, and that's something I like about this map. Now, like with our previous map, we can also layer our map as well. Oops. Come on. Oops. And before I do that, I can click on the property, look at a quick summary of that listing, by the way. So I can see the multiple photos, list price, and the property description. If I click on the property again, I should be able to open up the agent full report again. I can close this out. If I wanted to layer the map next to the drawing tool, we do have our layers button. Here we can layer, say with our boundaries, like the MLS areas. I just simply turn it on.
That's a cool feature.
And now all of a sudden my map comes alive with all the various different MLS areas within all the cities. Now I can use my drawing tools and outline specific areas where my clients want to live of a particular city. Besides the MLS boundaries, I can do school district. So here, if I zoom out just a little bit, I can see all the various different school districts. And again, outline those areas if I needed to, or even cooler, if you seeing how it's election year, the congressional districts, we can turn that on and see where all the different congressional districts are. That way my client can live and support the congressperson that they want to support. Now there's also one here that's pretty cool as well, the flood zone. Now the reason why the flood zone is locked out is because how far out I'm zoomed. So here as I zoom in, depending on how much I zoom in, this should unlock the flood zone unless I really have to be zoomed in. Yeah, there you go. So now I can turn on the flood zones and see all the different flood zones, which is cool. See if it jives with our NHD reports and things like that. Let's see. Next to the map, you also have the recenter. You can recenter your map. You can clear everything off your map if you wanted to. And of course, set this map as my starting default or restore the system to a default maps view. By the way, if we need to edit the criteria back over towards the left-hand side, click the double arrow, get back my criteria that I can modify and redo my map. Are there any questions on this new stuff? Anybody like this?
This is different from when they first came out with it.
When they first came out with it, yeah, it was really clunky. They've improved it a lot. So the more they keep improving it, just means that the faster they're probably going to release it. So I predict by end of the, definitely probably by mid part of the year, they'll probably have this up and running. And the reason why they have this, if any of you are wondering, CRMLS has multiple different MLS systems. They have Flex MLS, which is San Fernando Valley area. They also have Paragon, which is San Diego. So what they want to do is give what they call MLS of choice, meaning that you can choose to use either Matrix, Paragon, or Flex, depending on what you like. But what CRMLS wants to do is lower the learning curve. So that's why they're trying to make all the systems look the same, so that no matter what system you use, you'll feel comfortable with. It's still all the same back-end data. It's just what you're comfortable in using. So yeah. Other than that, I think this is pretty nice and easy to use. Anything else I can show you here in Matrix? Any questions?
Can we see all the fields on the search?
Oh yeah, on the new search.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to add a new field,
No, just what's available on the side. What you showed us is
Oh.
the only available fields.
so these are the default fields. If you need to add in fields to this, at the top, towards the top left here, click on the gear icon.
So all the fields are the same as what we currently have on the search page.
So you have all the available fields over here to the left, but not all of them have been selected. So I think they went from 44 back down to 20. So if you needed to add in fields then what you're gonna do is you're gonna click on that gear icon, and you have the selected fields chosen. Come over here to the left or to the right-hand side where it says available and find the field you want to add. The ones that are already added are check marked. So if you wanted to add a field like, oh, I don't know, assessments, select it, and then that will add it at the very bottom of your list. Now, if you wanted this towards the top, rearrange it, then these 6 little dots next to every selected field, I can click it, and I should be able to drag it above or below and rearrange my order.
So we have a question here.
Mhm.
Hey, Anthony, I had a question for you. Actually,
Yes.
two questions. When you do the search, when we used to do the search, you can say no 55 and over, or select if they have pets or not. Where do you find that? And second, I used to do like a view my agent short to see all the remarks at the same time. Is a way to see it in here, the remarks that the clients don't see? Oh, how it
In
works?
this new edition, they haven't given you the different views just yet. So if you wanted to see like the agent short reports or the medium or the thumbnail, you're not given that choice in this new edition. Whereas in the current edition, you can swap out your views. Here, they don't let you do that right now. That's probably something that they'll probably add in later on after they launch this, but who knows when that'll happen. Now, if you're talking about, oh, I want the field to see if it's in a senior community, then in this new edition, go over to where it says available fields, find the field that says senior. And let's see here, if it's alphabetical, then it's probably going to be way down here on this list, because it is a yes/no field. So in this case, security, seller, serial, senior community. I have it already check marked. So then it's a simple yes/no field. So when I go back, let's see here, where is it? Special conditions. Status, staff. Is it all the way down at the bottom? Disclosures. And I'm sorry, I have 42 selected fields out of a total of 50. So I guess out of 495 fields, they don't want you to select everything. There it is, senior community. So when I go to put in that criteria, I'm going to select senior yes in that case. Does that help, young lady?
Yeah, and also when you print out, so you're not able to print out
Yes, you can print it out, the customer thumbnail or the agent medium report. You just have to, when you go to print, select that report.
Oh, okay.
So you have access to all the printable reports, just not all the views.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is that if I go back here to search, and actually I'll just pull up a search here. Here, I have my one-line display. If I wanted to, under display, I can then choose my agent medium, which allows me to do that, which I can't do in the new edition just yet. Whereas if I, there we go. Whereas in the new system, and let's see here, I guess it won't let me do that. Whereas in the new system, when I pull up properties, the print choice will be available here. So see if we pull up those homes. Maybe I select a couple. Now when I go to print, I can print out my customer thumbnail, my medium, short report. So I can print out all the reports. I just can't view or display those different views right now.
I mean, you can preview it.
I can preview it, yeah. So I can say select agent short, print to PDF, at least generate it, because if I do choose to print at that point, but I at least get to see some of this, which is nice.
There was another question
Yes, sir.
on here. Ruth asked if she enters an open house on her listing, where does that feed to? Where do customers see that open house?
So if it's a public open house, your listing goes out to more than 91,000 websites. So if your listing's on Zillow, it'll appear on Zillow. If it's on homes.com, it'll appear on homes.com. So you've got Zillow, homes.com, realtor.com, Redfin, Coldwell Bankers websites, OC Register, LA Times, Homes and Land.
Pretty much anywhere they can search for property.
Anywhere you can search for properties. If it's a lease listing, then it's probably not going to appear on Zillow, only because Zillow doesn't display leases unless you're paying them a fee to do so. But on apartments.com, realtor.com, and other websites like that that do display those, your listing will appear there. Along with, and even on RPR, Realtor Property Resource. So Realtor Property Resource will display open house data as well.
She said, so we don't need a million signs, question mark?
If you're trying to get people to go to your property, I would say at least a minimum of 12 signs to sign your listing for your open house.
Also another
What do you
question.
guys recommend? 20?
20.
20? Then do 20 at least.
Also, when you used to do the search, you put, for example, one bathroom and plus, or 500,000 less or more. You don't use the that anymore. You just use maximum and minimum.
Yes, ma'am. That's consider the minimum as, your plus, your maximum. If you're only putting that number, your minus kind of thing.
Okay. Perfect.
Here I put in 1.2 million or 1,200,000, and here I've got a million, a property at 1,350,000.
So
So
if you don't want to go over 1,350,000, you put it in max.
Yep. So here I can put in my max 1,500,000.
Okay.
Now, when I click out of that box, I've now only got 37 matches out of 126 that are in Irvine, Tustin, and Fountain Valley that are currently active and active under contract between 1.2 million and 1.5 million.
Or if you remove the 1.2 million, it'll show you everything under 1.5.
Yep. So here I'll take that out, click out. Now all of a sudden that number adjusts, 95 matches, which is really great. It's super fast. I like that. Anything else? No. No other questions?
Tony,
Yes.
when you go find on the field on the bath, you said you were looking, but you couldn't find.
Oh, the full bass field.
Yes, please.
So the full bass down, I added that field.
Oh, you did.
Yep. So I added that field to my search. And here, if my client needs at least 2 full bass,
What
I'm
do you
gonna
write?
make sure that field is filled in.
Where do you put 2 full bath? Is it minimum or max?
Well, if my client needs a minimum of 2 full, I'm gonna put in minimum. If they don't want any more than 2 full, then I'm gonna put in maximum. If they want between 2 and 5, then I'm gonna put 2 to 5.
Why wouldn't they just default this in there?
Huh?
Why wouldn't they just default this in there?
Because I think, I don't know, I think they are really hooked onto the total number of bathrooms. I don't know why. I think that's always been a thing with them. And if I knew their minds, I'd probably be working at CRMLS.
But we can set it and leave it, right? So once
Yep.
we set it, we can move it up and then it'll always.
Once you select the field, it stays there until you decide to remove it or replace it. Yes.
We're not gonna have this till mid.
It's available now for you to start playing with.
To play what actual work.
If this is
No,
the,
you can use this.
you could use this right now if you wanted to, which I encourage you to start using it because one day you're gonna wake up and what you're used to doing is gonna be gone. And they probably won't say anything, until like the day or two before they're gonna do it. Which will freak everybody out.
I
So I'm
haven't
looking forward to
started-
that.
I
Yes,
haven't started using anything, so I think I should just adopt it.
You want
I
to
would-
start there?
you wanna start here.
So
Yes.
zipForm new version already started?
That's been running for a little over a year, side by side with the classic edition, but they just gave, as of January 1 of this year, a deadline date of the classic edition being phased out, being gone.
Oh.
Which is April 8th. So,
Friendly use too, or no?
oh yeah,
Even the new version is good,
Mhm.
easy to
really good.
maneuver.
Yep, ask Carlos. Carlos
Yeah,
uses it.
that's whenever I do my classes, I do the new version.
Yep, me too.
I teach the new version.
The new version is awesome. By the way, it's color coded, so these will indicate that they are coming soon. Yes, sir? So we got our photos, which is awesome. And there we go. All right, any other questions?
No,
No? Oh, well, thank you all very much.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Let me stop share. There you go.
Okay, thanks a lot. Anthony, let's see. Oh, it's
Oops.
following you now.
There you go.
All right, so I guess we've taken care of all the questions. Carlos, nothing more for Anthony?
No.
So I guess, Thursday, if you missed Rich today, he's gonna be having a training class on the purchase contract, so if you want to review that.
That's gonna be on Thursday at 10 a.m.
Thursday at 10 a.m. and that'll also be on Zoom. So just wanted to let you know. Okay, thank you very much. Have a great day today. Okay,
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.